Hi, I'm Connie Sue. Let's applique. Today I would like to show you how I applied the gold braid to my Anne's Lyrical Christmas quilt. Doesn't take much in way of materials. We need some gold braid. Here's some. I purchased this at a national fabric chain. It comes with a piece of plastic over the gold braid. I leave that in place and just pull a little out from the side. It kind of helps control it as I work with it, and I don't have braid all over the place. The second thing you'll notice about it is that it has a little piece of tape at the end. That tape, let's see if we can get just a hair closer. There you go. That tape prevents the braid from unraveling, and we will want to use that as we work with it. That's why we have the tape. Okay, let's come back out here now. What else do we need? Well, how about some scissors, a thimble, some gold thread. I use 100 weight silk thread. There are 2 or 3 good brands on the market. Any of them will work beautifully. And believe it or not, the tape that we talked about earlier. Once we have these in place, we're ready to get started. Oh, almost forgot. You'll also need a needle and thread, and I have that in my project. I'll show you in a moment. Okay. Because I do quick prep applique, I trace the pattern on the wrong side of my background fabric, which I have done here. For the line that we're going to be couching, I have drawn that with a straight edge so that it is absolutely straight. I then threaded a needle with my gold thread. It's here. Let me get it unfastened if I can here. And I ran a running stitch from well inside the bauble at this end to well inside the leaf at the other end. I did that running stitch in very tiny little stitches. Let's see, you can probably see it better on the other side. Let's see if we can bring it into focus. Here we go. There we go. See that little thread? It isn't very bright, and that's okay. It's enough to give us guidance. We can use it as our placement line for our braid. Because it's the same color as the braid, we don't have to worry about taking it out afterwards. We can just leave it in the project. Okay, I have come to the end. I'm going to knot the thread just a little, and that's so that if we catch it, we don't pull it anything out. And then I'm just going to continue using the thread. I'm not going to cut it off. I'll just continue using it to couch my braid. Next, I'm going to get a little piece of tape. You don't want a very big one. Can you see that little piece of tape? Okay, I don't have a very big one. I'm going to take my braid. Let's change this just a little bit. Oh, I'm trying to. Come on. I want to back it up a little. Come on. Okay, there we go. I'm going to take the braid and I'm going to measure it on the back because it's easier to see. I am going to start well into the leaf on the top. I am not going to include the part with the tape. I'm going to pretend that's clear up here out of the road. I'm going to start here. I'm going to come down into here, and with my left thumb, I'm going to mark where I want my braid to end. I'm then going to take the tape that I've got here, and I'm going to place it on the edge here, right at that spot, and just roll it around so that I now have a piece of tape at the end. But I don't want to cut it off now because the large piece of tape could unravel. So I'm going to get myself another piece of tape, just a little piece. You don't need very much. I'll grab it here. There we go. And I am going to go down about 1/4 of an inch. Oh, I bet you can hardly see this. Let's get in here. I'm going to go down about 1/4 of an inch where I put the other tape, leaving about 1/4 inch gap between them. Put this on and run it around. Okay, so I have 2 pieces of tape. I can then take and clip between those 2 pieces, and none of the ends will ravel. We can set this one aside to be used later, and we will now apply this. Let's go around to the front again. Now I like to work with my work straight up and down. I place the braid directly on the running stitch that I have, and I am going to take and just do a couple of whip stitches. Now that can pull, so to keep it from pulling out, I am going to take and I am going to run my needle directly through the braid. Now that is going to push the fibers of the braid apart. It usually comes out looking kind of ugly. This didn't look too bad. I'll come up again on the other side, back down, right through, and I only usually do it twice. There we go. And now I'm ready to begin couching. I look very carefully as to where my placement is, and then away I go. I am taking stitches that are approximately 3/16 of an inch. I have found that 1/8 is almost too close. You don't want to get them so close that you see those stitches on your braid. On the other hand, 1/4 of an inch gets to be quite far apart. After doing 2 or 3, I may want to pull that up a little. I don't want to, excuse me, I'm checking that out. I don't want to, at any point, pierce this where it will be seen, because that weakens it and it can pose problems. So we aren't going to do that. We're going to reposition and away we go. Do this till you get to the bottom. I'm going to take a little bit bigger stitches now just to get down there. If I were doing this for an actual project, I would do it a little slower and a little bit more carefully, and I would be sure. You can see, follow that line and it comes out nice and straight. When you get down to the bottom, I repeat what I did at the top. I will loop it over a couple times. I gotta see if I'm down here yet. Oh, I've still got a ways to go. Okay, not very far though. And when we get down here, one more stitch after this. When we get down here, we are going to take and do as we did before. I am going to take and put a stitch right through the braid. I'm putting the needle through it and bringing it up, and this will keep it from shifting top to bottom. It's just going to hold it in place. I'll come up on the other side and do it again. Okay, there we go. And then I can go to the back and knot it. I won't bother to knot it in this video. You can notice that it is pretty straight. Let's make it a little bit. There we go. Can you see? It is nice and straight. We have tape on both ends, so they are not going to ravel either end. I leave the tape on until it is time to applique the leaf on the top or the bauble on the bottom. By doing that, I don't have to worry about frayed ends, and I can get those ends covered very, very quickly. Well, I guess that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial from Apple Blossom Quilts. I'm Connie Sue. Happy appliquing!